attempt at this, so let's get this all underway, shall we? I'm going to find out if this is properly working here in a moment. It says waiting on me, but what is it waiting for? It should be public. Are you not public? Waiting for me. Okay, what do you mean by waiting? Is it. What does it mean by waiting? I don't understand. Is it something that I did wrong? Okay. Hold on, we're testing everything. I gotta mute for just one sec. Alright, I'm about ready to run a test. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, I think we're golden with audio. So, this is a little bit of a different type of podcast than normal. We're not doing normal gameplay. I picked a game for the background. I'm gonna be sharing this around first, but if you are just tuning in or you're going back into the logs and seeing this, welcome to the Vilecast. This is a podcast like experience live. I'm going to be talking about many different things for the next few hours, so this is going to be very interactive. I'll be watching to see if anybody wants to chat. You can feel free. I'm going to be sharing links around. I'm going to be probably taking breaks to grab some water here and there, but as I said, this is just a podcast-like experience. And hi again, I'm Venom, or Sir Crawling Venom, your host. So give me just about a few minutes, and I will start sharing this around. And hopefully people will start wanting to tune in to the first episode, but if not, I just want to talk about some things, just, how crazy things have been. Like, we had a crazy weekend with the PlayStation, did we not? I mean, like, servers down for more than 24 hours. Like, wow. I don't believe they actually ever mentioned what caused that. I think it's still kind of a mystery and kind of up in the air at the moment. I am just trying to figure out what's going on, but I'll explain what the Vilecast here is in a little bit. Because, like I said, it's a podcast-like experience, but it's also kind of me talking more chill, more relaxed. But as I said, this isn't going to be like your typical thing. I want the chat if anybody wants to interact, or you guys can go back and listen to it if you want. I turned off the heaters this time to have a better audio quality experience for those who are listening, because I want this to be as comfortable as possible. You got a nice comfortable fire over there. Sorry about that. Feeling a little congested here and there, but also a little tired. I did just get off of work, so we're just getting this started. We're getting going here. I'm going to be self-promoting a little bit here and there, everywhere I can, anywhere that I feel is going to allow the self-promotion. But this isn't like anything super special, but yeah, I got a few topics I want to talk about here and there. Anybody's welcome to join in the comment sections to chat or ask questions. I want to kind of talk about what few things I've been up to, and project, the YouTube headaches, and kind of just more explaining about who I am as a content creator and what I want for this channel specifically. Like, I am just getting everything in the motions here, so I will hopefully get this all going. And I need to start putting up thumbnails for this. I need to find a thumbnail first that I'm gonna actually like for this, but I just want the Vilecast to be something to where, I can chat with you guys, and eventually I am going to get guests onto here that we are just going to chat. This is going to be more, like I said, it is going to be more like a podcast. The game that's in the background really doesn't actually matter too much. We might be changing that in the future, especially if this starts kicking off a little bit more. But for right now, we're just trying to get people in, trying to make sure everybody knows we're starting, trying to make sure that I'm not coming off too bad. I think I sound okay. At least for now I do. But yes, we're just getting this started. I'm promoting this. This is, as I said, this is the Vilecast, and Cloudy is not here. She'll join me next week for the Vilecast, though. And it's going to be just some random talking things. And like I said, this is going to be just talking about anything and anything I deem kind of worthy to talk about. But right now, I'm just kind of vibing. We're not actually going to be doing any games, but this is kind of more of like your talk. We're just talking. We're not actually doing anything. This is just more of me talking to you guys in a audience. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous a little bit about talking about some stuff, but we'll get there. I said I kind of take this approach for many different reasons, and I've kind of wanted to do this for a little while, and I would like to have guests on here the next time we do the Vilecast. But for now, I think it'd be fine just me talking with chat. But right now, I'm just self-promoting everywhere I can. Just for case people want to come in, talk. I mean, I would like to do many different things. And it's just one of those, I don't know what happened to the game there. Got a little fuzzy on me. But yeah, we're just gonna get started here in a few minutes on some talking points. I'm not really gonna go into super talky mode right now until I get all this stuff done. I also started a new Blue Sky account, which if you want to follow me on there, if you do have Blue Sky, you can. I'll basically link that here in a few minutes. I'll probably link it after I do that. But I think we're pretty good. I don't think we need to... Yeah. Yes. Alrighty. I think we are good to go. I'm just going to link this both on Blue Sky and on X, because I'm on both, and I might as well start trying to, get my influence a little bit more. But this is just something people can go back to and listen to if they want. But anywho, so we'll just get that once I post these up. This isn't something... Ooh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit my water bottle like that. Posting. And now I'm going to post it on X. Post. And I will post this. And I'll start explaining a little bit more about Vilecast and why I want to do this. Like I said, I wanted to do something like a podcast kind of vibe. Alrighty, I think we're good. I just need to leave this open so I can monitor any chat or feedback that I get. This is not like your typical type of stream. I'm just trying to get this going. But Alrighty, I just want to do one more audio test just to make sure everything still sounds okay, so I'm muting myself for 1 second. Alrighty. I think we're good, and I'm gonna get started here. Oh yeah, I need to send the link to one other person before I forget. Alrighty, there we go. We're starting. Alright. So, now that we're officially started, I'm just gonna actually start talking, move the camera around a bit so I don't lose this. And I chose this game in particular because it's kind of more relaxing in the area. We're not probably gonna keep doing it at a game. Honestly, if I get it, once I start getting an actual PC, we can change how I do this, and we won't really need to rely on a game. But for now, ooh, I don't know what that was. But for now, we're just gonna rely on a game in the background with some soft music, as it's going, a fire, and I'm just gonna talk. Okay, so what is the Vilecast? Well, the Vilecast is going to be, well, as I said earlier, it's gonna be like a kind of like a podcast with a game in the background, at least for now. But I want to eventually maybe turn this into a podcast. But I want to start it off live, and I want to start it off just talking. Something I don't really typically do. Also, something else that I don't typically do or, well, talk about is, well, myself, my goals, my ambitions. So, the Vilecast is just going to be more of me talking with you guys, getting to see how you guys feel about it, or if you guys want to turn this into a podcast, and because I'm just going to talk about what I want to do on this channel. Well, as you guys kind of know, I kind of do a bit of, like, a little bit of everything. I kind of do some comedy, I kind of do voices. I have a lot of voice talent that I want to work with on this channel. Like, for example, I do want to get a kind of machinima, which I'm going to go into, why I want to do something kind of like that. It's kind of like a machinima, kind of not. It's an upcoming video. It's going to be Monster Hunter based. I'm not going to tell you what exactly it is, but that's all you guys get to know for now. You're going to have to wait for it to come out. I'm still working on it, and then I have a few other videos because I like to be analytical about things. I like talking about things. I like talking about what's on my mind. The other thing that I would like to talk about a little bit is, well, I do also like talking about creepy things, scary, it's why I basically have the sub goal of 150 subs. I will read a creepypasta live, and that's actually kind of where I started to think of, well, how am I going to do that if I'm also to be expected to do a game as well? So why not make a live podcast? And this kind of came to mind. I believe I mentioned it before in one of the past streams of having somebody that wanted to do a podcast with me in the past. Now, I don't know if he's still interested in doing that. I would have to message him and see if he still wants to, because he wanted to do talk about games and talk about, like, Bethesda Studios. I'll see if he's still interested. However, I just want to get that done and over with. And with that part out of the way, I wanted to go back to the topic of creepy. Now, this podcast can be pretty much anything that I want to talk about, between like creepypastas, reading them live, or, well, let's say I want to talk about another hobby or enthusiasm, if you will, that I have, which is I am a crypto enthusiast. What I mean, not crypto like as in like the, crypto coin, like cryptozoology. I like cryptids. I actually look up a lot of lore. I also like mythology. I will talk about these things for days if you let me. The other thing I do want to preface is that as you know, I'm a heavy gamer, but what I mainly want to focus on the channel is the goofy content with some analytical and maybe some serious topics here and there mixed in. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind if people wanted to give me suggestions on something to talk about or something that they would like to hear. Like, also, if you guys want, because I am going to be doing a video of reading a creepypasta, which will not have a gameplay. Well, at least I'll try not to have it have a direct gameplay behind it. What I will do is I will try to have it as a game, maybe in the background as I read the creepypasta. Not like this, but just a recording, and I don't know why it keeps doing that. Keeps like losing focus, and I just keep noticing it. But anywho, I might have to grab more water. I didn't have enough. That was nearly empty. But anywho, lost my train of thought for a second. But yeah, I wouldn't mind if you guys want to suggest a creepy story for me to read. You can suggest it either in the comments, or you can send me a link. Send me a link through, I guess, Twitter or Blue Sky, one of the two, and I just picked up my phone and smacked it. I apologize. Probably gonna have to mute that here in a few minutes. But this is episode 1 of the Bilecast. And the thing I was also thinking about with the Bilecast, like I said, I want to get more people involved in the Bilecast. Cloudy will be available next week, so she'll be on, and we'll be talking about random subjects I will come to think of. I'll have more things put together by then, but now it's kind of just more of me talking about it and why I'm doing it. Ooh, if I can just talk properly. Feeling kind of weird today, but anywho. Like, why I want to just get this out of the way, do it. And there's another reason why I want to do this too. It's because I want to branch out on what exactly I do on this channel. Like I said, I don't want it to be just me doing a bunch of shorts. And that's what I feel like YouTube has kind of become nowadays. It's a bunch of shorts, and shorts are great. They are, trust me. I love shorts, just for the factor that they can help your channel grow. Sometimes they can be entertaining, but sometimes it feels like you have to put out shorts to get your channel to grow. Now, that's not always the case, but I haven't been able to make a viral video, probably because, maybe I'm just not doing a good enough job, or maybe it's really hard to go viral now. I don't know. And I'm not looking to go viral. I'm just trying to build a channel community. Which, speaking of building a community, Discord should be done soon. I just gotta make a list of rules, and then I can open it up to everybody so they can start joining, and I'll put a link up for when I do, and I'll put a link in my videos. And I'll spread it around. But as for this, the Bilecast, back to the original topic, I want to go asking people around who might want to join me. Now, this can be topics between anything of cryptozoology to gaming, but there is one topic I am not going to touch on this, and I'm going to be very specific. So if anybody asks for it in the future, it's a hard no. This topic is off the table. No politics. Period. I am not a politics channel. I don't want anything to do with politics. Do not suggest politics to me. I do not want to talk about it. It will never be a subject. So, we're getting that right out of the way. However, if you want to talk about mythology, history, anything like that, it's on the table. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, how I've been kind of feeling. Like, I mentioned earlier, like, with this whole PSN thing. Like, I cannot believe it went down for almost I think it was like 24 hours it went down for. And it's just, we haven't had anything that bad in a long, long time. People were equating it to like the 2011 hack. Now, I don't know if it is that bad, but I wanted to give some word of advice for anybody who is listening and they do use PSN, like myself and many others I know. You might want to change your passwords, make sure everything is safe. You never know in this day and age when you could possibly get hacked. So, change your passwords if you have to. Do what you need. But, other than that, moving on from that topic, and we're going to go into the other thing I want to talk about, is that I want to kind of go into a little bit of a history about me, about why I started YouTube, and why I kind of want to. Like, I'm a small creator right now, and maybe I'll get big one day, maybe I won't. I'm not going to say that I will, I'm not going to say that I won't. But, if you're listening from the future, you get to hear some insight. Well, I wanted to be a YouTuber actually for a very, very long time. Now, it originally didn't start off as me wanting to be exactly a YouTuber per se. What I originally wanted to do, this was back in my teens, I wanted to do something called machinima. Now, that actually inspired me to start wanting to do more YouTube stuff. Now, this was a long time ago. But what really inspired me was the the infamous web series known as Red vs. Blue. Now, that was one of the most inspirational things for me, especially in my teen years, because I was a diehard Halo fan. And then when I saw Red vs. Blue, I remember thinking in my head, hey, I want to do that. I want to make something like that. I learned that it was called machinima. I remember at the time, too, when I was wanting to get into machinima, everybody was making machinimas of Halo 3, other games, and it was just, I really wanted to get into it, which also kind of led me to wanting to do voicing, but at that time, I wasn't very good with voices. I didn't have very good voice impressions. I don't think I even knew how to do a proper evil laugh to save my life. But I wanted to write, I wanted to do that. And it was one of the biggest inspirations I had at that time. And then I think what really sold me was because I kind of gave up on it because I got so busy with, modern life. I kind of just left it to the side. And then somebody taught me how to sing. I'm not going to go into very strong specifics of this person, but she taught me how to sing, which led me into learning how to play with my voice, which is one of the reasons why I like doing voice impressions now, why I usually tend to do them in my videos, why I tend to just, I play with my voice here and there. This is just something I like to do. I think, honestly, it is one of the more interesting things that I like. Like, because with a voice, you can play with it more than anything else, which is another thing I'm also going to start looking into once I get the capability to. But I also want to do voice acting. That is something I want to do, and something I have been on the fence about for quite some time. I mean, like other legends like Mark Hamill and many others kind of inspired me to want to do that. Especially when I started learning how to play with the voice. Just going from, this type of voice to, or all these other type of things, just to play with the voice. It's just always interesting, especially when you have, when you do iconic voices like, hey, what's your favorite scary movie? It kind of inspires me to want to do YouTube and why I want to do the comedy stuff on my channel, but I also like being analytic. Like I said, I like looking at things, I like basically explaining. And that's kind of what the one Fallout video I'm working on is going to be, kind of more analytical, kind of just talking. But the thing is, I also want to try to get to know my audience more about what they want and what you guys want me to do. as a content creator what you guys like and what you guys don't like. But we'll learn as we go. And I'm hoping that you guys will at least come with me on this journey here and there. Now, there's going to be more to say after this. However, I am going to take a small little break because I got to grab some water. I also got to check on a little fuzzball, which you hear her from time to time, and I don't know why I'm speaking oddly. Probably because I'm nervous a little bit about doing this type of thing. Because I don't typically do it. I'm actually going to pause the stream for just a minute. So, I will be back in just a few minutes. Just give me one moment. I'm just And we are back. At least I believe we're back. Let me just wait for it to confirm that we are truly back. Alrighty, we're back. Alright, hi, and sorry about the little intermission. It won't happen again, at least not for now. Just need some water. Need to grab water. I need to check on my manager, which I call her manager. Which, oh, speaking of, I might as well tell the story about how I got my little manager. Now, my friend, he works on a farm. And I remember at the time I was dating someone. She wanted a cat. We lived together at the time. And I wasn't too sure about getting a cat at that time because, one, I hadn't had a pet in quite some time because of my dog who passed away, which he was my best friend. He passed away, and I was still very sad about that. I mean, it was years past when he died at that point, but I never really got over him. But my GF at the time, she was insistent about getting a cat. And so I caved. And then eventually my friend texted me asking, "Hey, you still looking for a cat?" And I go, "Yeah, we still are. Why?" He goes, "Well, we found a kitten. I won't go into details about it, but like there was like a few other kittens that didn't make it, but her and her litter mate made it. They don't know who the mom cat was or mother cat. They don't know where she went. It speculated that they were just killed, unfortunately. But when we got her, I basically took. I remember we didn't take her home right away. They had to send her to like a special, like a care place that will basically tend to little kittens that size because she was so young. She was still supposed to be feeding off her mother, and she couldn't. And then eventually we ended up getting her at a certain point. I remember the day we brought her home, and I felt so bad because when we brought her home, she was scratching. We checked her, she had fleas. And I remember at the time, and I gave her a bath. It was like the first time, like the first day she came home, I had to give her a bath. A bath with Dawn dish soap. I'll never forget that. And then I ended up going to Walmart immediately to buy her something for the fleas. But ever since, I've had that little fluff ball, and she's basically been a very ever constant in my life now. Had her for she's actually a little bit over 5 years now. Actually, I think she's gonna be 5 this year. Wow, time's really going by and I don't even know. Maybe I am getting old. But this is more, more of that. She's basically the mascot of, well, my channel and the inspiration for my Discord, which I'll say it now. It's not available for people to join, but it's called the Klon Knights. When it does become available, you'll be able to join in, and we'll try to build a community together when I get to that point. But still need to make the rules, and I haven't quite ironed out every little thing, but it should be up, I want to say, before the end of the month. We'll get that all settled. The other thing, too, I want to say is, like, I'm going to have more talking points next episode that doesn't just sound like it's just going to be me telling you stories about my life, what inspired me to do YouTube. It's going to be more interesting topics. Like, for example, I want to talk about, just some stuff, but I want to have guests on. Now, I don't want to sound mean. Not everybody's going to be asked to be a guest. I have a few people in mind to ask, because some of them, yes, I've known for a while, and I enjoy their company and talking with them, and some I haven't talked to in a while, which, it's not because we don't like each other or anything. It's just I haven't really played the game that they want to talk on. So that's going to be a thing, but eventually we're going to have that. But I'm going to talk about something else. I've been getting back into, well, Destiny, which this is obviously not Destiny. But I want to talk a little bit about it, because I feel like maybe here I can talk a little bit about what I am actually not really liking about Destiny at the moment. And that's just basically, it feels like everything is just kind of getting cheaper and cheaper. Like, I think Heresy, that actually just came out, isn't too bad, but it's very nostalgia. Like, you can't really go into it as a solo player. That's the big thing. This isn't going to be, I'm not going to talk about Destiny the entire time, but I'm just talking about, things I've been kind of up to. Kind of got back into Destiny, and like I said, Heresy is just not something I think is solo player friendly. At least not yet. But that is a game I do play from time to time. I'm debating whether or not I'm actually going to make a video on that topic. But if I do, I do. But back to what I want to talk about, why I'm bringing up Destiny, is because it kind of correlates my feelings with it right now, is that I feel like the DCV, the Destiny Content Vault, is killing the game, and it's been killing the game for years, and it baffles me that nobody talks about it that much, or people actually don't point that out, that it's been killing the game. It kind of actually boggles my mind, and it's kind of, if I make a video on Destiny, and which again, there's only going to be one, and it's only going to be just that, but I'm just giving you my feelings right now, and instead of making a whole point about it, is that I feel like it's killing the game, and apparently nobody sees it, which it's glaringly obvious if you play other games. But moving on from Destiny. And good morning, Cloudy. How are you? I see you're joining us from the land of the sleeps. Just taking a drink. Also, Cloudy, I know you're not available to talk, but I've mentioned you're probably going to be on the next one if you want to join. I'm also going to be asking a few people to come talk at some point, but not today. Today, this is just the first episode of this, and this is just going to be me talking. Me talking right now, just kind of yapping. But anywho, just had to take another drink there. Feeling very dehydrated lately, and there's a piece of paper under this chair. I might have to mute myself to deal with that paper. But yeah, I'm also trying it without the heaters on today. Also, again, like if there's any audio problems, guys, just let me know. If you guys have an issue with the heaters being on, I will try to deal with it, turning them off for a short period of time to give better quality of audio. It's been going pretty well. So far it's going. I mean, I'm doing okay. I mean, at a night of work, obviously, I told you about that in text last night. Kind of boring, kind of just, just that. Gonna have to turn my phone off of vibrate so it doesn't vibrate the entire time I'm doing this. But, yeah. So, moving on to the next point, in which this is going to be a little bit of a talking point for a moment. It's just, I'm just kind of at a little bit of a not too sure, and this is like I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I would really like suggestions on what creepy story or like short story you guys would want me to read for a creepypasta video. If you have any recommendations, again, just leave them in the comment section below, and also, or you can figure out a way to DM me. Maybe I'll make an email that you guys can just send to me, send me suggestions, or hate mail. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. And again, sorry about that. But as far as that goes, another thing about me is like I said, I like doing the voice stuff, analytical, and talking about cryptids. I'm not going to go into super detail, but what I do outside of YouTube, because obviously this is not my full-time career. I work a janitorial job, but I won't go into very specific what I do or where I work. What I will say is I work janitorial, and I am bored throughout most of the night. Also, I got distracted. No, it's okay. Just reading chat now, but yeah, no, it's alright. Work could get boring, but it's over now. I'm done with that. Also checking to see how much time we've been streaming. So I want to try to keep this going for more than about an hour or so. So on to the next talking point that I wanted to say was I do also like to write stories, in which this is something I could eventually do once I ever get my myself in gear to finish the story I've been currently working on and off. I could read it here on the Vilecast, in which, again, like I said, if we reach the 150 goal, I will read it here on the Vilecast. And I will read it live with either guest or that to basically just, talk about the story or whatever. But this is going to be just me. Because I'm going to be going throughout the next few weeks trying to find people who want to be on the Vilecast. Also, the other thing, too, that is on the table is I could do Vilecast more than just every Sunday morning. I could do it as part of the Monday. Basically, also Monday or that Tuesday. Take a break from it. But this is just more of an option if Vilecast gets a little bit better or whatever. It's just one of those type of things. Like I said, this is more of a podcast, not really a stream for gaming. And yeah, it's got a game related, but we're really just going to talk about anything I want to, and this is just podcast. And eventually, I'm going to have guests on here, in which we'll have to figure out how we're talking with them, either through, I guess, PSN, Discord, which I don't know. I got to figure out a way to get Discord to work properly on PlayStation. I feel like I have to talk. Like, today's just been kind of one of those dry throat feeling kind of days. Like, it's been so cold. Like, like my skin's been drying and my throat feeling a bit dry. The weather's been kind of just, it's like it's supposed to be heavy snow tonight for where I live. So I guess I have to ask you guys, do you guys want to come out and build a snowman with me? More like build a snow fort. What the hell was that? Alright, I'm gonna have to pause chat real quick. I'm gonna have to go for one momento. I need to make sure Klondike is okay. I'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, we should be back now. That was definitely a weird one. I don't know what I just heard, if that was Klondike or not. Also, you might have just heard her being a little fussy now. But I just heard Klondike murmuring in the kitchen. At least I thought that was Klondike, unless I have a cat in game. I don't. But, yeah, I started hearing these little murmurs, and I was just like, what is that noise? Because that didn't sound typically like Klondike. But then again, she's also been making these little coo noises, and I think she's hunting for the mouse again. Because I know there's another mouse in the apartment. But, yeah, sorry for the intermissions here and there. I kind of lost my train of thought because I was last talking about the weather, and then I was talking about, oh yeah. There's also some other things too I wanted to discuss on this episode of the Wildcast. Like, I want to go into what kind of voice impressions I can actually do. Now I can do quite a few. I've done them on stream here and there, but I don't think I've done them, or at least talked about them. I can basically do pretty much a lot. Like, I kind of forget how many voice impressions I actually know. Like, I can do one from something I used to do all the time, and I still do it from time to time. It's basically it's kind of me doing impressions of a comedian named Pablo Francisco's impressions. And it was just him talking about action heroes and action movies back in the 90s. Maybe back in the 80s too. I don't really remember exactly when. But I remember how it always goes. It always just starts with, "In the city, you must fight to survive. He sold tortillas on the corner, but the mob wanted in. I don't know who this guy is, but I want him and his tortillas dead. He had one chance. His chance was to fight back. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Listen to me. Me take it out here. What me don't. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're after my tortillas." Just I like to do stuff like that, and like I can do other voices. Like I like to also reference a lot of the TF2 or like not TF2. I don't know why I said TF2. Like Team 4-Star. I like to do a lot of the Team 4-Star voices. Like for example, the favorite ones I like to do is like Imperfect Cell to Perfect Cell. Like for example, like, "Hey there, Piccolo. What do you think of my power, Piccolo?" To, "Oh, this is what lips feels like." To, "I am absolutely perfect." Like, I just like doing that type of stuff. The voices that people really seem to like from me the most, though, are... Well, you've heard me do it maybe here and there, because I know I talked about it a little bit on stream with Cloudy the last time, but it's mainly Heath Ledger's Joker. "So tell me, chat, why so serious? Why let all these little things bother you when you can just wear the purple fucking suit?" Yeah, I guess I am kind of silly, but yeah, I do a lot of different type of voices, in which it's kind of what I want to do, and I do want to be a voice actor here and there, and it's not something I typically talk about too much on here, but I've talked about it with people. But there's also another thing I could do with the Vilecast, which could be, besides just having a bunch of different guests on, I could do a thing to where I interview a few different people that I know that are content creators that are also trying to grow. If I start growing, which right now I'm too small to be offering that kind of content, but I wouldn't mind doing it at some point. Or maybe just having them on as guests. Which, I know some of them have PlayStations. I know some of them, they definitely have Discord. I mean, nowadays, if you're a gamer, you normally have Discord. But, yeah. It's been one of those type of ordeals of I'm going to have to figure out who I'm getting on here, who I'm not. Plus, I have to make sure, especially since Cloudy's also going to be on there too, if they're going to gel well with Cloudy. Not that she's not easygoing or anything. I know you're there and you're listening, Cloudy. But, sometimes people just tend to rub each other the wrong way. And, yeah. So we don't need conflicts. But yeah, so I guess the one topic I actually now I'm going to get to, which is completely no longer about the Vilecast and getting people on. It's about, the one thing I love to do the most is that, well, obviously that's pretty much what I do most of the time, is game. And the game that I'm really anticipating is, can you really guess? Monster Hunter Wilds. That game I am actually really looking forward to. It's coming out in not even a month now. Like, we got, 20 some days now? Yeah, we got like 19. Yeah, we got like 19 days, I think. So, yeah, this is going to be one of the biggest games I'm anticipating. Also, it's like, there's just a lot of games I'm not really too terribly interested in. Like, for example, I'm not super interested in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Not because I'm not interested in it as a game, more like because I really haven't played much of the first game. Which I think I can play both games independently from what I remember reading, but I don't know. I'm just not super into that. However, Doom the Dark Age, though, I am looking forward to that. I am really going to be playing that one once it comes. Oh, sorry, chat. Feeling kind of tired still. Work was kind of brutal, but also I see you are typing. Yeah, no, I know you haven't been able to play Monster Hunter World. That's just it's hard when you're out doing what you're doing right now. But by the way, Cloudy, how do you think I sound? Do you think the audio is better that I have everything off and it's just me talking? Because I think it sounds better from what I heard. Which I'm gonna look forward to when I don't need to have all that stuff running all the time. But hey, that's just here or there. But I'm just hoping when it comes to the next episode of this, I'll be a little bit more put together with the topics I want to. Because I think we're going to be talking about a few different things that I would find interesting. Like, for example, I think we're going to have a topic episode. Which, I mean, I might as well go into one topic that I think we're going to talk about in the next episode. I'm going to have this go on for a little bit longer before. Because I don't know how long I'm going to have each of these podcasts. Probably maybe to an hour to 2 hours long. We'll see how it goes. We're already reaching that hour mark, but I want to keep talking because I had a few interruptions already. But I'm trying not to overstay the welcome of this. I'm just trying to get this out. But I feel like I also want to try to keep it going for a little bit, but thank you. I'm happy that I sound pretty good. But anywho, I want to try to keep this rolling a bit, but I think in the next episode, which I'm not going to talk too much about right now because I'm going to save it for that episode, but I think the topic is going to be cryptids. If you're okay and comfortable talking about the cryptids, Cloudy. Because I'll look up a bunch of cryptids we can talk about. And we'll just figure that out. But for right now, I'm just going to talk about that. Other games right now, too, is that we are... Because I'm currently playing Monster Hunter World. I am currently playing Monster Hunter Rise on stream. Going all the way through it. I am playing Destiny 2 on and off. I sometimes play occasionally 7 Days to Die, which I really need to do more of. That's actually one of my favorite zombie games. Sometimes we do the Crafting in Mines, or Minecraft. Which Minecraft has not been really feeling that great to me lately, to be honest with you. Just because it feels like I can't play, well, if I had a PC, it'd probably be a different story, but right now console Minecraft is kind of getting on my nerves. We'll just leave it at that. Why I'm not really touching it too much. I got a lot of stuff going on with that and why it's been kind of annoying me, but we're not going to go into that because that's a whole can of worms we're not going to talk about. But what I will talk about is just a few other things before I guess we're going to go. I know you're 100% okay with. But yeah, we're going to be probably wrapping this up in like 20-30 minutes. And I know this wasn't exactly a super long stream. But this is more of a live podcast. And I want to try to get more people in here the next time to be longer. In which, hopefully, the next episode of whenever I do this again is going to be a lot longer. Like I said, We got a sub goal still of 150. And I will read a creepy pasta or horror story live on the Vilecast. Um, Depending on if you guys actually like this or not, which, please, I'm actually asking you guys to leave me some feedback in the comments. Um, Give it a like if you do like it. But I think right now I'm kind of running out of topics at the moment because this is the first episode. And I think I got everything that I wanted to say out of the way. And I think as far as it's gone, I think it's been going pretty well. It's been going for about an hour. We'll try to keep it going for like at least a little bit longer. There is just... Oh, right. I remember now. About the guest thing. I don't know if I'm going to reach out to, certain people. And also, please do not request, if you're listening from this in the future, do not request to be on the podcast. I have to know you, or there has to be a very significant reason as to why I'd be reaching out to do this type of stuff. I would have to know you. And like I said, this is kind of a exclusive type of club, and I'm going to be looking for people specifically, but don't beg. I don't want people begging to be on here. If you are listening from the future. But as I said, I want to keep this going for a few more minutes, but I'm kind of falling flat on what to talk about because I'm not really too sure what else to talk about. You know what? Actually, I know what to talk about. I have been seeing a little bit of blurbs here and there, which I kind of want to look into more, which from the makers of, Warframe, there you have Soulframe, which I've been looking into a little bit here and there, not too much. I've been seeing people talking about it. I don't know how I feel about it because I kind of have mixed feelings on Warframe, which I like it, but at the same time, it's so uninteresting to me at the same time, which is a very weird dynamic between Warframe, honestly. Like, I think it's just because the pay... Because I wouldn't say it's pay to win, but just, like, the option that it has pay to win just kind of kills it for me, considering there's, like, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, or if I really want to get into it. Yeah, I think it will, but I think it's always hard, especially when you do these type of things. Because I'm just doing a podcast with live features to it, and I'm reading chat as they go. So if anybody's watching in the future, why it sounds like I'm reading off something, that's because I am, because there's an actual chat that's happening as I'm reading it. But yeah, it will go by faster when I do have more guests. Which I have a few people in mind. Again, like I said, this isn't going to be, and some of them may be only like a one-time thing. Some of them may be more recurring. I don't know, but I just kind of want to build up, that group, I guess, to kind of do a podcast like ordeal. Yeah, I mean, it's not very well. I would. It's weird. It's kind of one of those, about it if you kind of into it and you kind of don't with Soulframe, which I'm gonna look more into it. I don't know, because if it's anything like Warframe, I feel like for me it's gonna be dead on arrival, because Warframe is just a game I cannot for the life of me get into. And it's like I play it, I can have fun with it, but then after a while I'm just bored with it. I just don't know what it is that... I mean, like, I think the movement's great, but I don't think anything special of the weapons or the frames themselves, because it just feels like a gacha game, honestly. With a weird between pay to win to not to be completely free to play kind of dynamic, which is weird. Which I'll be honest, I'm not 100% a fan of, but that's just how I kind of feel about it. And it's just kind of one of those things of, I'm hoping in time that I'll get better. Also, Also, I think the next episode, considering we're going to be talking about cryptids the next time, we're going to be on a game that actually features quite a few cryptids. And it's a game I've already streamed before, but we'll go on to Fallout 76 and have our little discussion there. And I think I'll build a little area so we can have like a room to chat in. I think that'd be kind of fun and interesting. Maybe I'll have a few more guests on too. I don't know. We'll see when that comes. But this is. I think I'm actually going to wrap up this episode. I wanted to try to keep it going, but I don't think I have many more talking points because I was kind of not expecting how long this was actually going to be. Plus, I'm just kind of burnt through all the topics I did want to talk about and stuff I do. So, this is just kind of going to be the end of the first episode of the Vilecast. And with that, I am going to wrap this up. So, if you like today's episode of the Vilecast, please leave a like. If you like my content and want to hear more of my voice, or you think it's absolutely stupid, rage at me in the comments. But if you do like the voice, please subscribe to the channel. I'll make more of these if people want to, but for now, it's going to be every Sunday. It will be the Vilecast. Hopefully next time I'll definitely be accompanied by Cloudy, and I'll have more interesting topics to talk about. Which we're going to talk about a lot of the cryptids and blah blah blah. Not going to go into it because I don't want to go into the full depths of the episode, but it's going to be in Fallout, obviously, because, it's one of the best games for cryptids. Not going to go into every single cryptid, but we'll have a few to talk about. But until then, I will see you all later. Maybe in the next stream, episode, or next video I ever make. So, I'll talk to you then. Thank you for joining me on today's first podcast. I will talk to you all later.